first of all, I want to get your thoughts. Both of you have been in title races. You've both won league titles as well. Liverpool at the moment 2 points behind Manchester City. Mas, I'll start with you. How difficult is it to keep up that kind of pressure when you're chasing?
2 points ain't bad. 2 points is all right. I mean, if it had got to 4, I know it's a long way to go, but you just don't see where Man City are going to... When I played, I'd always look at the fixtures always and think, right, you know, I'd look at it now and think 2-horse race, you know, and I'd be looking at Man City and thinking, right, who they got... What will they get here? We'll get that. What will they get? But with this Man City, you can't see. They've just got to stay on their coattails here for about till 10 games to go, and then you never know. Then the Champions League kicks back in again, I think, in February, and then all of a sudden it'll liven up. Man City, for me, are big players in the Champions League, in my opinion, massive players. And if they're on their coattails then, and we heard Pep Guardiola to one of the interviews after the game the other day, he went, my friend, we play 3 times a week now. And that's going to happen through the whole of December. So, you know, if he's talking like that, obviously the players are getting a little bit jaded.
They've got the squad to do it, City, haven't they, to rotate and to be able to rest players. We saw it at the weekend, it wasn't even their full-strength squad. They don't even have Kevin De Bruyne in it. How difficult will it be for Liverpool to keep up and hang on to their coattails, like Paul says?
Well, like Merce said, it's just because they're so good. You know, you almost like need to get a lead, you know, and see if you can hang on. But doesn't look like Man City are going to let up at all. And like you say, they're missing De Bruyne. Don't look like they're missing him on the pitch. You know, one of the best players in the league last season. They're going to miss Aguero. They didn't play at the weekend. They get away with it. They just find another way. You know, Pep is a master on that training field. He's got a knack of keeping everyone who's in the squad involved. He rotates at the right time. And at the moment, they're just like an unstoppable train. Now, Liverpool, from their point of view, have to believe that they can do it. They have to keep chipping away. They have to break the season down into 3 parts, in my opinion, get to end of Christmas, end of the year, still in touch. Looks like they're going to do that, Liverpool. First part done. Get to Easter. Where are you at Easter? If you're still in and around them at Easter, last season was over. By Easter, really, season was over. Unless they were going to do a Devon lock and just fall out of existence, Man City. It was never going to happen. They need to make sure they're there and then they can put a right push. And then you're asking them different questions. Have they got the bottle, Man City, when someone's putting the right pressure on them? Last season, we never saw that. You never had to. It was cantering to the end. Get them under pressure, see how they react under pressure. Now, that is the challenge of Liverpool, not only Liverpool, of the chasing pack of Chelsea, of Tottenham, of Arsenal, if we're putting Arsenal in that category as well after a North London derby.
How much has Liverpool's quality changed this season? Because last season they finished 25 points behind Manchester City. Manchester City made the one signing in the summer. Liverpool have changed up a little bit, but have they closed that gap? I mean, we know it's 2 points, but what about quality?
Different kind of qualities. I think you look at Liverpool now and 1 goal could win them a match. I think last year, year before, Liverpool, you'd have to get 2 and 3 goals. You know, now, 1 goal, 1-0 Huddersfield, 1-0 Everton, 1-0 Brighton, you know. Them games last year or the year before, they would have drawn or got beat on the counter-attack at the end and lost 1-0. Plus, they're making Anfield a proper fortress again, a place where they're going to pick up a lot of points. And I think Van Dijk's, for me, he's the one. I just think he's a special centre-half.
They've flipped it almost, haven't they? Because last season it was all about their attack, and then as soon as Van Dijk came in January, it started to look more, especially this season, the clean sheets that they're keeping, their defensive record, one of the best in the league.
Well, they believe they can keep clean sheets with Alisson as well, who's come in. The problems that they had, they fixed. For me, it's a question of the way they play their game, Liverpool. They're high tempo, 100 mile an hour all of the time. That's when they're at their best. Can you do it over a long period of the season? They might get fatigued. The difference is with Man City can counter-attack with the best, but they can also rest on the ball. They know when to control the game and open up the play and they keep possession, and they only rest in possession. Liverpool, at the moment, I don't think they've got a midfield player, a controller, a game controller like a David Silva in there. They haven't got anyone to do that. They're all pretty similar in the midfield players. You've got the Milners, you've got your Hendersons, you've got Keita, you've got Fabinho. You know, and even when Oxlade-Chamberlain comes in, they're all similar. They all burst with the ball. They're all 100 mile an hour. You know, at the moment, I'm not sure. Listen, they are fit boys and they train train very hard, but I think it might be fatigue, what might kill them in the end, you know, if they're pushing right to the end. Whereas Man City, I believe they can rest during games because they put games away after half an hour. You know, sometimes they're bringing players off the bench, they're resting them at the right time, but get them under pressure and let's see how they react. And that is the key for Liverpool and the chasing pack.
Let's talk about your own experiences, because we can't have you in here without delving into your mind and finding out what it was like being in a title race. And Paul, one of your most, I mean, there's a whole DVD made about it, Arsenal '89. It was such an incredible experience that you were involved in, right down to the last game. Do you think we'll ever see anything like that again?
No. No, I only say that because you had first and second playing on the last game of the season. I mean, you look at the fixtures for the end of the season in the Premier League and, you know, ain't going to happen this season because, you know, there ain't going to be anybody playing against each other until they sort of change that fixture around at the end. It never seemed to have that
it's all
big
top
game.
Bottom.
Yeah, it's top versus bottom or middle, you know, and they need to get that back to them. But the chances are, I don't think that would ever happen again in the month of Sundays. I mean, especially, you know, the way it happened as well. I mean, that Liverpool team was more dominant than this Man City team ever are. You know, and they might score a lot more goals, but you know, whoever finished above them, you won the league. It's as simple as that. So it was a great feeling, but yeah, we got caught badly. You know, we were about 12 points clear, and then we melted at home to Derby. Peter Shilton was unreal, and then we drew at home to Wimbledon, and then lucky enough, people always look back and they go, "Oh, we had to win 2-0." I mean, Leroy Rossini has scored for West Ham in a 5-1 defeat. If he doesn't score that goal at Anfield, we have to win 3-0, and, you know, that ain't happening.
What was it? Why did you take your foot off the gas?
I don't think, no, pressure. You know, you turn up at games, you're playing against the bottom three team who are fighting for their lives. You know, they've got something to play for, and, you know, to keep on churning results out week in, week out, it's hard, and that's what Tim's saying. If you can just stay with a team and put them under pressure. And that's what Liverpool did. They were moving up the table, and in the end, I mean, we played Wimbledon at home, drew 2-2, and I mean, it was end to end in the end. Anybody could have won that game, and if Wimbledon scored late on, it would have been over again. So it's pressure, just pure pressure. You know, the last 10 games of the season, and nothing like the first 28. Nothing like the first 28. The last 10 are unreal, because you're not, you know, we were playing sort of the same days, but now the players are playing on different days. One plays Sunday, one plays Monday night, and, you know, the pressure would be immense.
You just waste so much energy watching the opposition.
Yeah, thinking, oh...
And when we did it, I was like using so much energy watching Man United, hoping the other team would beat them, you know, when it was a two-horse race between us and them. You know, and you feel drained, you're sitting on your armchair and you feel like shattered after the game, you know, you just can't believe it. I mean, we finished fourth one year. The following season, did we really have belief that we could catch Manchester United? Not really. And we finished second in that following season. Well,
it was 13 points that you were behind them in the end, in that first season you're talking about against Manchester United, 92-93 season. And at that point in time, you're saying you didn't believe that you could go on and eventually beat them?
Not really, because of the points difference. I mean, it's quite similar to what Liverpool are with Man City.
Second's a lot, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, still a lot.
Wins,
but because we finished second, I just felt we went into the season of 94-95 believing we'd win it. We really had belief that we'd win it. And like Mo said, it wasn't until the last 10 games the wheels come off of us. We had 12 points clear with one game in hand to Manchester United. But you're always looking over your shoulder. It's like Usain Bolt chasing you down. You know, it's like Man City. If they're chasing anyone, if they're ahead of you, you feel like you're never ever going to catch them with the quality what they had and the experience of actually winning. We had no one like Liverpool. Well, I don't say no one. They've probably got a few who have possibly won anything.
Shaqiri, Fabinho, Milner.
But nothing. They've never won the Premier League. James Milner's won the Premier League. He's only one player. We had someone to look at, and it was Sir Kenny Dalglish. That was the man we looked at, because he'd won titles. The titles coming out of his ears. He had so many medals, you know. But he'd won him as a player. He won him as a manager, and he was our reference. He was our point, and he kept us calm. And he led us to the victory, really. And without him, he has no panic. There was no panic in his eyes. He might have been a good actor. But he kept us calm all of the time, and we believed we could go and hold on and lift that trophy in the end, and thankfully we did.
When you've got a leader, like you say, like Kenny, what was your role as a captain?
Well, I was just acting because I was panicking, you know. But I'll be honest with you, it was just you're so close to actually achieving and going up first to lift that Premier League trophy, and it's something what might not ever happen again because Man United was such a force, you know, that in the following year they won it again, you know, and there was no other teams really emerging. It was always us and them, nip and tuck. Have that lead as well, it was just about trying to replicate what you'd done in the early part of the season and knowing that you had good players, because without having good players, you weren't going to be top of the league. So we were there on merit to just continue and just do enough to get ourselves over the line. And really is to try and replicate what he was giving, the calmness to us. I was trying to give it to the rest of the players, but it was very, very difficult because we were all bubbling underneath.
You talk about being exhausted and sitting in your armchair and
Yeah.
once you've won it, what's it like?
Oh, it's a relief. It's a relief. It's a huge relief because we won it on the last day of the season as well. We got beat at Anfield and Man United. We failed to get the win at West Ham, so we managed to win it. And I wouldn't say by default, because if over a course of 38 games, the best team wins the league, and we were the best team, and we managed to lift that trophy. It was such a relief. It was just, you felt so drained after it, you know, just the emotion of actually getting there. And I just, I feel like it's, look, my hands are shaking now.
That's just because you're on this show.